Is the Cavour, a Tier 4 Italian battleship. I got it in one of the Italian Battleship Crates in the Pride of Prussia campaign. As with all of the other Italian battleships available in the main Italian battleship line, this ship has Semi Armour Piercing secondary shells, which can be quite devastating. However, the main batteries have been rumored to lack accuracy, so with that, let's set up the ship and the commander, who is PAOLO REVEL. He is the only option for a battleship commander in the historical commanders for the Italians, so you're kind of limited here. You do have Littorio, who is AZUR Lane Wave 3 commander, but I do not have that commander yet, so let's check out REVEL. His base trait is time is of the essence. It quickens the reload time of your battleship's main guns. Inspirations are Andrew Cunningham for concentrated devastation. It increases the shell grouping of your battleship's main guns, along with Robert Joujard borer increases your battleship's AP shell penetration. As far as the skills, I have not one for the nuisance. Reduces the risk of catching fire or flooding. The second skill is Porcupine, increases the secondary battery range and shell grouping and accuracy for any ship type. So REVEL is basically your secondary build commander, as it were. Third skill is Firefighter, decreases the chance of your ship catching fire and reduces the maximum number of fires to 3. At the same time, it reduces the reload time of the damage control party and its duration. So that is kind of a negative, but I thought that I would not really be that concerned about switching the shell types, so I have selected Firefighter. And the fourth skill is Reaching Out XXL. It increases the maximum range of the main battery. And for the legendary skill, I have Will to Rebuild. It increases the HP regeneration rate when the repair party is active, and it will auto repair the HP when it is equal or less than 20%. But the range to an allied ship to activate this special effect is 2 kilometers. At legendary rank 2, when you upgrade to legendary rank 3, that radius will be increased to 2.75 kilometers. So let's take a look at the upgrades for the ship. First upgrade is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery is improved by 7%, and the secondary battery firing range and its dispersion is improved by 5% respectively. And then we have the rest of the default upgrades here. The first one is Targeting System Type 5 Mod 2. Firing range is increased 10% up to 14.3 kilometers, which is not really all that spectacular. The next upgrade is the engine upgrade. Maximum speed will be increased up to 22 knots. And the last upgrade is the Conti di Cavour Hull B. Hit points go up to 38,700. Torpedo damage reduction is 16%, and the rudder shift time is 12%. Alright, so let's take a look at the loadout. You have your normal ammunition, high explosive shells, and armor piercing shells, which we'll get to in a second. Consumables is your normal damage control party. Consumable duration is 9 seconds with a reload time of 70.4 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of these consumables. Then we have a whopping 4 repair party consumables, which partially restores the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 284 hit points per second. Consumable duration is 19.6 seconds with a reload time of 80 seconds, and as I said, you have 4 of these consumables. The last consumable is the Enhanced Secondary Targeting, and it lowers the dispersion and improves the shell grouping for your secondary armament at the rate of 100% for the shell grouping. Dispersion is improved by 50%, and the duration is 30 seconds with a reload time of 160 seconds, and you have 3 of these consumables. And when you do get within range, the secondaries can be pretty devastating, as you will see at the very end of the video here. I'm not running any boosters. I don't have them set up right here, but during a battle I could be flying some boosters. And for the camouflage, I went with a fully upgraded Regia Marina Premium Permanent Camouflage. Sea detectability and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. As far as the stats, survivability is 38,700 hit points as we saw. Armor is 13 to 280 millimeter. Torpedo damage reduction is 23%. As far as the artillery, the main battery has 305 millimeter guns. There are 13 of those guns. Firing range is 14.6 kilometers. Reload time is 28.6 seconds. Turn time is 60 seconds, which is pretty bad. That is not that great, and you do see that as an issue during a battle. HE shell damage is 4,200 with a 30% chance of setting fire. AP shell damage is 8,100. Secondary armament, firing range is 4.1 kilometers, which is not that great. Reload time is 3 seconds, and the maximum Semi Armour Piercing shell damage is 2,800, and you will not get any damage when you have a deflection or anything other than a penetration, but when these do get going, they will be devastating, but you have to be within the 4.1 kilometer range. Here are your AA defensive numbers. Looks like 14 guns. All right. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 22 knots. Turning circle radius is 620 meters with a rudder shift time of 12 seconds. Concealment is 12.5 kilometers, range by sea, 10.4 kilometers by air, and if you happen to be within smoke, the detection range is 10 kilometers. All right, let's take a look at the armor. And here you can see the superstructure has the lightest armor of 13 to 14 millimeters. The top of the bow and the stern is 17 to 24 millimeters, as is the bottom of the hull down there. But there is a lot of orange armor in the lower part of the bow and the stern, and a little bit on the sides. It looks like a little bit of torpedo protection here. So let's remove the armor and see what the citadel looks like. And this is not great. You will get wiped out from plunging fire if the shells get through this armor, and you really have to watch it from the sides as well. But it looks like you do have some pretty thick armor in the front of the citadel and the rear, so bow tanking would probably be okay in this ship. All right, let's look at the overview. Guns aplenty. A high number of guns allow for a lot of damage from a single salvo. Frail, below average base HP rating, so you definitely want to watch out for that. The Cavour is a representative of the first series of Italian dreadnoughts. As with many large ships of the Italian Navy at the beginning of the 20th century, she had an almost symmetrical silhouette. The battleship's main armament comprised 13 305 millimeter guns. Entered service in 1915, and there were 3 ships in the series. Alright, so that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. Alright, we're in standard, we're in Trident. It's an epicenter game. Here I'm checking out the teams. Bunch of battleships on the red team and the blue team. It does look like there's more battleships on the red team though. So as far as hardware goes, we do seem to be at a bit of a disadvantage. It does seem like everybody rushes the center of these epicenter games, and I'm only at half speed. I'm not really that eager to get in there and take on the center at this point. There's the Koenig. He's a little bit out of range yet, so can't do anything about that. But yeah, the accuracy of the main guns here has been an issue in a lot of my previous matches. And, you know, everyone is hoping for that accuracy build commander, which Littorio seems to be a good option, but it does, you know, the price is 5,000 doubloons, and There's speculation that there may be a normal historical commander coming out in the next update. So we'll talk about that a little bit more toward the end of the battle here. But there's a Ferataka that lit me on fire, and this is kind of a little bit of a problem here during this match, is I am lit on fire quite often, and well, as far as that goes, you do wonder if Littorio, with the fire prevention skills and the health skills, might prevent some of that. So maybe she isn't just an accuracy build commander, as it were. Maybe there are some special qualities as far as the health of the commander versus whatever historical commander wargaming might provide to the game eventually. So maybe that's something to consider. But here's a Koenig that looks like he beached himself, and there's a destroyer over there taking some shots at me, but this is a perfect setup for an awesome broadside strike against the Koenig with all 13 of these guns. So we took our shot, and now we're lit on fire again. So this is an extremely easy to catch fire with the Cavour, not caviar, Cavour. And we did get 7,800 damage, but I am looking to use this island as cover. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'm going to burn down here. So there's a Farragut over there. They do have pretty decent guns, so you don't really want to get in the middle of it with them, even though your secondaries would really help you out in a close-in battle, as we're going to see here in a little bit. But I took a shot at the Farragut, got 2 hits, and we are going to sneak around this island here and see if we could catch some of these red team ships, hopefully unaware that we're coming. We're not being spotted at the moment. You can see the red team is capturing, well, they already captured the middle ring of the epicenter, and they are working on the center of the epicenter here. So even though we're ahead because we did destroy more ships and larger ships, their battleship is gone, we can't take anything for granted. We're going to come around here and look for this battleship and keep a watch out for that Ferataka that we were engaged with earlier. And there's this Ganget that's just sitting here. He is not really aware of me coming around this island at all. He captured that ring, and he's just sitting there maintaining the capture, as it were. So this is really kind of a bad angle that I'm taking this shot, and you can see we did get 3 hits, some more damage, and we did get 4 ricochets, so that is not ideal. And here I hit the fire extinguisher in a real rookie mistake. You kind of want to wait for more than one fire before you extinguish it, because if you get set on fire again, you will have a real problem. And so now this Ferataka is broadside to the Cavour, and I think you don't want to do that here because you do get 2 citadel hits on the Ferataka, and he is in big trouble. So we took some massive damage, but he did set me on fire again. So this is something to definitely look out for with these Italian battleships. So you might want to set up some commanders or maybe some other options for health. And there is a torpedo coming at my bow right as I'm taking a shot at this Ferataka. He gets destroyed with a 3rd citadel hit and a destruction. Looked like the torpedo went below the ship, but now I have 3 fires going, and my only defensive measure, as far as I believe, is to hit the heal booster. Even though it's not going to run for that long, it will minimize the damage from the 3 concurrent fires here. So maybe the skills and qualities of Littorio would help out here. So I'm going to have to consider that. There is another citadel hit on that battleship. Ishizushi, I believe it was. And the Ganget, another 5,000. There's a Ganget up here. And we're breaking off our attack on those 2 battleships, and we're going to focus on the Ganget in this epicenter here. And we're going to close in and get the secondaries going with their Semi Armour Piercing shells. And here the Ganget is broadside. This is awesome. I am being hit from behind, so I'm not really willing to go broadside with those guys behind me. So there I got 2 citadel hits on the Ganget. So this is some pretty accurate shooting here. And there the secondaries are going. So with Revel and Juillard and Cunningham for inspirations, we are getting some accuracy and citadel hits with this commander setup. So maybe Littorio isn't necessarily all that's needed for accuracy. And there the Ganget is gone. I thought I was going to get a destroyed ship ribbon with all the secondary hits I was getting. Only 8 secondary hits, but it looked like the show looked like it was bigger than it really was. But here I am looking to keep my rear end pointed at those 2 battleships, which are the only battleships left on the red team. And now I am in the center of the epicenter, and I'm taking all 3 rings here. So this is going to be some massive XP if I can do this by myself. But I'm not really looking to go broadside to move off from the center here. And I did hit full stop, and I'm looking to not leave the epicenter so I can capture the entire ring here, the entire epicenter, and we're almost done. A couple seconds left, and it looks like we captured 2 parts of the epicenter by ourselves, and the outer ring was with some help from a friendly teammate. And this looks like an awesome shot on the Ishizushi, and this is some of the RNG, the random number generator, is going to bite you here. A ricochet, so that looked like it should have been a much better score. This is another awesome looking shot. I'm really expecting some big damage results here, and not much of anything. We get a few thousand damage, and here I'm going to take a chance and move out of the way. I'm almost able to hit my last heal here, and we're going to hit the last heal as soon as it is available, and we're going to hope that we can run over here and survive this match. Looks like the guns on the Ishizushi are not pointing toward me, but I believe that's a Ganget over there. He probably is aiming toward us. And so yeah, okay, so as far as Littorio goes, that is the 800-pound gorilla, as it were, because that is the only accuracy commander available for the Italians as of February 2022. You can get Littorio for 5,000 doubloons, but if they're going to offer an historical commander for free, as it were, or available in the normal historical commander as a normal historical commander for the Italians, I'm sure people are going to think that it's kind of a big ripoff. But if Littorio does have healing qualities and will help you out with a massive amount of fires, then maybe this new historical commander, fictional historical commander that we don't really know about yet, there's no telling what kind of skills or qualities that commander will have. Maybe Littorio will be of a big benefit because of its healing capabilities, her healing capabilities. So that's kind of it for my soapbox rant on the accuracy build commander situation for the Italians. And we have 5 minutes left in the match, but the Ganget is not going to be around all that long. All right, well, let me know what you think of Cavour in the comments, as well as any discussion you might have about the accuracy build commander situation. Be interested to hear about it. And there, the battle is ended. A big time victory for the Cavour. 220,000 credits, 77,000 XP, 30 main gun hits, a destroyed ship, 6 citadel hits. That is kind of surprising. We did capture the entire epicenter, 8 secondary hits, a dreadnought medal, a fireproof medal. Let's see how we did on the team result. Well, first place overall, that is awesome. Only 1,800 XP, but we did get all those medals, and it is tier 4. So I guess I'm not really expecting a really huge XP score. Let's see how we did on the economy tab. 201,000 credits by the time it was all said and done. Well, that's it for the Cavour. You wouldn't know there was anything wrong with the accuracy of this ship with this commander after that match with the 6 citadel hits and the 75,000+ damage. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.
Enemy cruiser sunk. Enemy destroyer blown up. We've got 2 of them.